Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had an okay Saturday despite the market conditions. And I'm sure today has been doom and gloom for many of you. We're going to start the video off by talking about that. This is going to be a Cardano specific video. One thing that I want to urge each and every one of you to do, certainly those of you that don't watch my daily market updates, where we not only cover the cryptocurrency realm, but we look at the external financial landscape around us, as we are now impacted and more tethered to it as we have previously been. As a space, we are now playing a different game. We have institutions involved, and they work in a different way to what your typical retail trader will. It explains a lot of what's currently taking place, why we're seeing this downturn in the market due to the headwind from the Federal Reserve and kind of global macroeconomics. So it's well worth a watch, but I will sort of go into it a little bit in this video. There's some really positive things that have actually come out of this, such as the fact that Cardano, if you look at this wick, you know, Cardano is actually holding up quite well, but it has sold off prior to this sort of macro crypto market dump significantly more in some cases than other altcoins. So that could be why we're sort of reaching more of a floor and seeing more of a buyback. And we also have some extremely bullish fundamental reasons why people might want ADA to interact with some of the dApps that are going to start coming online in anticipation of some of the farming opportunities, etc., etc. So we're going to get into it all in this video. Like I say, I'm going to start by talking about the overall markets again. Please, the video that I released earlier is about 20 minutes long. It's a good video, and it's going to give you guys a good understanding of everything that's taking place. We are going to go over some Cardano specific things. We're going to be looking at Sundae swap again. I'm not going to be... Yesterday, I just briefly sort of talked you through how to use everything on Sundae swap, even basic things like connecting your wallet. But we're not going to do a live demonstration today. I'm going to wait until the network is less congested. You can see that swaps are still taking a while. They're currently processing orders from 21 hours ago. So really what I want to do is be able to use this network when it's not so congested, and actually talk you through each and every step of it. We're going to talk about the fact that the total value locked is nearly 100 million. We did say this, and that this was going to become the case when Sundae swap launched, and that we were going to get over 100 million. We're well on our way there. Remember, this is $92 million locked in terms of value, mainly in ADA. And remember, the price of ADA has sold off. So if it was the price that it was before the sell-off, it would be over $100 million. That is what it is with a very congested Sundae swap. So we'll talk about that. We're going to go over the fact that, you know, there's still the majority of Cardano staked to the network. And people often ask me, okay, well, why is the price selling off if we have the majority of Cardano staked? Over 70% of the overall supply is staked. We have 1,123,000 delegators, 71% staked. Why the hell is the price selling off so much? Well, we also cover this in the earlier video. We talk about price and how price is set and how it works on the margin. This also is to do with institutions that are looking to maybe exit markets or riskier assets in a risky environment kind of caused by the Federal Reserve. This is why I'm referencing the earlier video and telling you guys to watch it, because it all makes sense. And one thing that I really reconfirm and re-emphasize in that video is that I am still extremely bullish on the crypto space. And some of you may say, like, All in Crypto, how can you be so bullish on Cardano? How can you be so bullish on crypto given the current sentiment, the current conditions, and the sell-offs that we're seeing? Well, guys, you've got to look at the bigger picture here, and that is that blockchain is going to impact the world in a big way, and we are not even really on that journey yet. You know, we're not seeing cryptocurrencies be used. We're not seeing blockchain technology be the underlying infrastructure that runs a lot of the systems around the world, and so on and so forth. That's all still to come, and there's volatility associated with getting to the destination that we need to go to. So let's start. We're also going to talk about the fact that this is from Tim Harrison, somebody you should follow on Twitter. Somebody just swapped over 7 million in ADA on Sundae swap. It cost $2.26. Probably nothing. Don't know why people always put that at the end. It's obviously something. It's very cheap to use. For some people, we're also going to talk about that, because if you're only swapping, let's say 10 ADA, for example, I think there's still a 5% fee, and 2.5 ADA goes to scoopers, which I'm still trying to work out why that is the set rate. Apparently it's because the network's still used, but we'll talk about it. Let me get the overall market conditions out of the way. So you guys know, I mentioned in my earlier video that I picked up a small amount of ADA when we were going down here, and I have buy orders set further down. But also, if I start to see a recovery, and this is all largely dependent now on the macroeconomic landscape, one thing that Cardano is almost slightly detethered itself from is the fact that this was more of a significant buyback wick than something like Solana, for example, Ethereum, and of course Bitcoin. So it shows there's a real strength and community behind it, and people are willing to step in at these prices. Like myself, even though it was only a small amount I accumulated, I will be accumulating a lot more when I see the opportunity. Now that doesn't mean the price has to continue going down, but I'm not in the game of catching a falling knife. I like to let the dust settle. I'm a dip buyer, but given the uncertain landscape that we're in, remember I've not sold a single ADA. I stake it in the ALLIN crypto pool. And you know, that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm in a net accumulation game, given the fact that I think this technology is going to change the world, and Cardano is going to be one of those contenders and players within that. But I'm going to sort of let the dust settle and of course accumulate. You know, for me, Cardano is a steal. Lots of people have bought up here, yet they're willing to bash it down here. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So the overall macro landscape is everything selling off. This is the Nasdaq. This is the S&P. This is Netflix. Poor old Netflix, by the way, guys. I mean, look, this is where the sort of close was. Remember, the stock market isn't open over the weekend, so we'll see what the new week brings. But ultimately, this is all on the back end of what the Federal Reserve are saying. And little old Cardano gets pushed with that. You know, Bitcoin is still that tide that rises and sinks all ships. And of course, Cardano is a part of that, even though it has extremely bullish fundamental reasons why it could do very well. And in my opinion, it is going to. It's a matter of time before we get back on track. The relevancy of cryptocurrencies, regardless of the price, has not gone away. And this is where you earn your money in times like this. This is where the boys get separated from the men and the girls get separated from the women. Because it's times like these where you need to actually understand what you're investing in and say, look, is there value in this? Or is this just maybe a Dogecoin pump and dump that nobody's going to use in years to come? So on and so forth. I don't know. That's you know, maybe somebody finds a use case for Dogecoin, or Elon Musk decides to do something with it. I don't know, but you get the point that I'm saying. So that's why the overall markets are selling off. It's a very good sign that Cardano is seeing the sort of buyback that it is. If you look on certainly the 7-day, Bitcoin down 19%, Ethereum down 27%, Tether of course is a stable coin, BNB down 28%, Cardano 16%, Solana 35%. So it's holding up very, very well. Now, I'm not going to try and kid anybody here and say, okay, well, that's, you know, there could be an element of the fact that we've sold off significantly and that floor has been raised. HODLers don't move the price. The price is set on really what's trading back and forth on that day. So you have an overwhelming sell pressure, the price goes down. You have an overwhelming buy pressure, the price goes up, and so on and so forth. HODLers are already hung in there. But what they do is they have got an impact on the price in a way that they take liquidity off the table. So if there's no, if a seller can't sell into anything, you know, then if that liquidity isn't there, then the price can only go down so far before it reaches a floor, and that's what HODLers do. But I would argue that right now you've probably got a lot of institutional money. You've probably got some big players that are institutionally attached that want to minimize risk, and of course, crypto being as speculative as it is going to bear the brunt of it. But it's not just crypto, it's assets across the board, equities across the board, and this is all to do with the Fed. So understand that fact. But let's move on to ADA now. You know, there's still some unbelievably and undeniably strong and bullish fundamentals behind it. Like I say, the total value locked, we did say this was going to get over 100 million. It would indeed be if we didn't see the price decrease. And this is with a congested Sundae swap, and it's very cheap to use Sundae swap. I'm going to be totally honest, it's impractical at the moment. It's not a practical DEX right now, but it will become that. You know, there's a clear roadmap for scaling. There's a clear roadmap for congestion kind of decreasing. And it's going to be very profitable for people to use and interact with this DEX. In my opinion, it is still somewhat expensive. For example, if somebody wanted to swap 10 ADA, for example, for, let's use liquid, I still think there's quite a high fee in association with that. So it's a 3 ADA fee currently. So the scoopers actually are taking less. The scoopers get a 2.5 ADA fee. So it still can be quite high if you're using a small amount of Cardano, which is my big beef with Ethereum. Ethereum completely killed any kind of retail traders. But I do think this will come down. I think the fee is just right now due to the fact that there is it's temporarily high due to a lot of mainnet congestion. So I think this will decrease. The fee's there basically to stop people from just you would have a lot of people. You could imagine Vitalik sat behind a computer if the fee was ridiculously low and just spamming transactions to try and sort of clog the network up even more. So the fee is set like that for a reason. I think that's the reason. I've not actually spoken to any scoopers. I probably should. That was a joke. I don't think Vitalik does that. I think he's got a lot more important things to deal with. But just an example of why the fee is what it is. But this is all going to come down, and this is a real step in the right direction. We're already seeing that value get locked up and taken off the sell pressure liquidity table, along with the amount of Cardano that we have staked. So there's an absolute storm coming when markets take a turn. And when that turn happens, many of you will miss it because you'd have lost interest. And that's why I make these videos daily, to try and keep that fire within your belly ignited and looking in the right direction. This is the all-in pool. We are still minting blocks. We're minting a block straight away this epoch. Over the moon that you guys are staking with me. In the Discord tomorrow, I am going to do a talk. I'd like to touch base with a lot of the people that have been in the Discord and supporting me and my channel for a long time, where we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about a macro view for crypto, the direction we think it might be taking, and some of the challenges and trials and tribulations that we're facing. But one thing that I really want to reaffirm in this video is my unbelievably bullish outlook, not just for the crypto space, but for something like Cardano. I think Cardano is what Bitcoin could have been and Ethereum should have been. I think it's a third generation blockchain that's here to stay. Yes, we know we've got congestion issues at the moment. It was expected. Not only was it expected, they actually told you that this was going to be the case. And that's part, there's nothing unexpected here. I hear a lot of people go, okay, it crashed, it's broken. The network hasn't crashed. We didn't turn off like Solana or another one of these chains that just completely imploded. We're getting through it. I've already explained to you how a blockchain works on a very simplistic term, in the sense that a blockchain is a very simple concept at its base. Of course, we know we've got chains that run out of it. These are blocks with transactions in. As the next block gets formed, the transactions go in. There's only a certain amount of transactions that can go into that block. And if there's a queue of transactions, you only process a block. I can't remember what the block time is. 10 seconds, 5 seconds. It could be more than that. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But there's only a certain amount of blocks. There's only a certain amount of transactions that can go through, which is where we get TPS from. So if there's a lot more transactions wanting to go through than can at that one time period, you end up with a queue waiting to get in that block. And that's really all. This is a visual representation of congestion, but I'm doing it very roughly. Blockchain is a very simple concept. I should do a crypto 101 video where we talk about everything and we really put things into context and just show you at the base level how blockchains work and so on and so forth. So that's really all I have for you. I still think things are moving in the right direction. The only thing that isn't is the price. And the price is moving in accordance with external factors to fundamental reasons. Did I expect Cardano to sell off this much? To be honest, no. Was it a possibility? It's always been a possibility. One that I happen to think was unlikely, but nobody's going to call this market with 100% accuracy. One thing that we have been right on since the inception of this channel, and we showed you in the video that I did earlier, right back to the start of the channel, is the direction crypto's in. And that one thing that crypto has shown over everything is its resilience, and I think that's going to continue to be the case. This is a technology that is yet to be adopted. Remember that, understand that. Do your due diligence and your research into the individual cryptos that you're investing in, like Cardano, and I believe many of you will come to the same conclusion that I have. So that's really all I have for you. Watch out for the Sundae swap. I've already funded a wallet to show you. I think I put about 1,500 ADA in there just to play around with and add liquidity to different pools and stuff like that, which is just a hot wallet that I don't mind using to show you guys what to do. Watch this. This is going to continue to go up. And remember, this is just one DApp of many, many to come. One DEX of many. I think there's 16 DEXs out there, not to mention everything else within the DApp ecosystem. So something I'm very excited about. I think you guys should be too. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If this market action is getting you down and depressed, you know, you take some time away from the screens. One reason I can sit so comfortably, and I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't painless to watch my portfolio fluctuate in this kind of a manner. But remember, there's a lot more to life than money. It's I'm not one of these people that, you know, shouts that money doesn't buy you happiness and all this stuff. It makes your life significantly easier. I've been on the very poor end of life, and I've been somewhat close to the other end of it through cryptocurrencies. And believe me, money makes a huge difference, but it's not everything. There's a lot more things that are a lot more important, like health, family, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, for me, you guys know my outlook. I am exceptionally bullish on the crypto space on a macro sense. I just think we're going to experience turbulence within that journey. So that's all I have for you in this video, guys. I hope you found this useful, entertaining, and informative. If you have a like, it's always appreciated. So as a comment, there's a link to the Discord in the description. Remember, we do have the All-In Crypto Stake Pool for anybody looking to stake with me. All-In is the ticker. We are minting blocks regularly now. We minted 5 blocks, I believe. If we go over to rewards, we gave out 16% rewards last epoch, which is huge. We minted 5 blocks in one epoch after having a dry spell of 3 epochs. Just the look of the draw, I guess. All I have for you in the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video.